Hey everybody, it's Kyle. You know, when I was a younger man, my dad relayed a story to me that he had heard at one point in his life about a guy who lived in New York City and wasn't feeling good one day and decided to go home from work and was on the subway. And as he was on the subway, one of the stops, a lady got on with two sons, both under the age of 10, and the guy wasn't feeling good, but he commenced to watching these kids just completely out of control, just running and jumping, and mom wasn't doing anything about it. And the gentleman was frustrated because he wasn't feeling good, and the kids were brushing by him and bumping into him and doing all these things that were really aggravating him. And, you know, he thought about saying something to the mom. Just he didn't feel good, and he didn't want to be bothered. And then he remembered he had got for his own sons a little Hot Wheel and a coloring book with some colors. And he thought, you know what? I wonder if I can just help. So he pulled out the coloring book and the colors and the little Hot Wheel and, reached across and gave them to these kids and really just gave them something to do and settled them down quite a bit. And for the rest of the trip, the boys were pretty happy and quiet and contained. And as the lady was getting off, it was a stop before he was going to get off, she leaned down to him and she said, "Thank you so much." She said, "My husband unexpectedly passed away this morning, their father, and we're trying to get home from the hospital, and my boys don't know what to do or how to handle it." And she said, "Thank you for your kindness." And she left. And, when my dad told me this story, it made me kind of start to realize, and I think we all do, that you never really know what's going on with other people. And in a lot of cases, when people are unkind or have made decisions that have caused them to have wounds in their lives, that have caused them to have difficulties, we don't know what's going on with other people. All we see is their outward appearance. And sometimes that can be pretty rude or abrasive or, sometimes people can be jerks. But we don't know what's going on inside. What have they experienced or what, emotional or spiritual wounds have they suffered through and just haven't been able to come to grips with. And when we have difficult times and we in public and other people stare or glare, we tend to get a little defensive. And I think I think it's okay for us to not really worry about what other people think. Because I think what I do sometimes is I project my feelings onto other people. So if I see somebody glaring at me or staring at me, I imagine that if I'm staring at somebody, I'm probably passing judgment. It doesn't mean other people that are staring or glaring are passing judgment. It's usually just us projecting how we feel on other people. Hope that makes sense. I do know this. There have been many times where people have just watched because of the unusual circumstances or the fascination by a 17 or an 18-year-old throwing a fit in a public place. It's just unusual to see that. So when they do, I don't think they're trying to be mean. In a lot of cases, they're not. They just don't understand, and they're watching because they're just fascinated by the experience. So I guess what my point is today is pretty simple. It's this. Is they don't know what's going on in our lives, and we don't know what's going on in their lives. So let's try to be as patient as we can with other people, because they may have wounds that we don't know about. Certainly, we're not the only ones that have circumstances that can be difficult. Other people have that too. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's be kind to each other in all circumstances. Even if somebody's mean to you or rude to you, I don't think it really gives you the right to be rude or mean back. Maybe they've got some situations or wounds in their life that they haven't been able to resolve, and we don't know. So let's be patient, let's be kind, and the kinder we are to others, the better we'll feel whenever we have situations that are kind of stressful or uncomfortable. So hopefully that's helpful in some way. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.